Humble investors, welcome back to the channel. This is PokeMatrix54, and in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing a bunch of singles I believe can make your portfolio skyrocket in the next 6 to 24 months. Let's get straight into it. Why not? Alright, first set we're going to look at is the Celebrations group. If you don't know, this year is the 30th anniversary, so these cards from the 25th anniversary should be getting a lot of hype. They have seen some rises, and I'm looking at a few specifically, kind of on the cheaper side. Hey, to be honest, I don't have a big budget to buy extra cards with, so I'm working on a budget just like all of you are. What I'm looking at first is going to be the OG3, Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. Now, yes, Charizard's too expensive, for me at least. But I'm looking at runners-up, number 2, number 3. Blastoise, you can still pick up on here for around that $15 range. I know these are showing damage, but I think this is a great pickup. Check your local card shows, check your local marketplaces, wherever you're looking there locally. I think this can be a good pickup at around a $15 range, this Blastoise. Number 2 is the other third of the OG3 final evolutions. We got Venusaur here. And if we can see some recent sales, where's that at? I believe I've been seeing this locally quite a bit for around $13. Looking at the 6-month chart, it's steadily risen. The 1-year chart, it's definitely been going up the last few months. I think it's only going to keep going up from here. Recent sales were hovering right around $13. I'm sure eBay has been similar. I've been kind of watching these cards on eBay too, off and on. So I think those are great pickups. They're not the big hitters, but could these easily be $20 to $25 in the next 6 months, especially once 30th is in full-blown effect, the 30th anniversary set later this year? I absolutely believe that, yes. A little bit more expensive one, not too crazy. It's around $35 right now. I think I picked one up at the last card show for around this price, around the $35 to $40 range. And if we look at recent sales, right around $40 near mint. Why do I bring this one up? Because it seems like as a new set features a certain Pokemon, the older versions of that same Pokemon tend to skyrocket in value. That's kind of the world we're living in these days. And Pokemon did announce a set supposedly called Emerald something. And speculation is that Rayquaza is going to be a featured character in that set. So if he is, then a lot of his former cards, like this one, I believe, will see a spike in value. So you've kind of got two things working for this one. Is the 30th set, this one's a 25th, and then the new Emerald set that may have Rayquaza in it. So you kind of got a double fold potential spike with those. Honorable mentions, I'm going to probably discuss about a dozen in this video. Honorable mentions, to me, if you're looking at these cards in person, the Surfing and the Flying Pikachu VMAX, they really pop. I love them. Looking at them in the binder with the blues and the reds and the yellows. The texturing is nice on them. And you can get them for around $5 to $7 most days as of now. Recording of this video is February of 2026, so just early on in 2026. You can still pick these Surfing and Flying Pikachu up for a really good price, well under $10. Maybe you get a booth that's got them for around $6-7, and then make them an offer 2 for $10. That would be a solid pickup if they're clean copies. I think it's Pikachu, right? He's the mascot. He's the franchise headliner most of the time. To me, those can be great pickups. Next, we're moving into, I've mentioned this before if you've watched a couple previous videos, 151. Now, it gets a lot of attention, rightfully so, but they're still at the bottom of the SIR list. Not a big SIR list, but at the bottom of it, you've got Giovanni's Charisma. Why is this a $15 card? I was talking about it when it was $10, $11, $12. It's risen up a few bucks since then over the last 6 months. This thing could easily be a $25 card. Look at it. Tell me why it couldn't be. Let me know in the comments if you agree on this one or if I'm just for some reason overhyping it. I don't think so. It's got Persian, it's got a main character from the original anime, one of the main villains, the top villain really, Team Rocket's leader Giovanni. Nice background. It features another Pokemon in it. It's not just the trainer by himself. Why couldn't this be a $25 to $30 card? 151's done. They're not printing more of it. It's been about 2 years. I think April marks the official going out of rotation for this group of which 151 is in. And I just think there's a lot of room to grow. And why do I love it? Because it's an SIR, meaning it's really hard to pull, and it's only 15 bucks, and it's a featured character, featured trainer. It's not just some nobody trainer that no one's heard of. Recent sales are hovering around that, $14 to $15. If you can find one on eBay, I just picked up one of these I've got several, but last month I picked up one for like best offer $12 total, tax, shipping, and all. So if you can find one under 15, buy it. Buy it. You won't regret it in 6 to 12 months. I promise you. I don't know. I'm still just dumbfounded how this is such a cheap card. And when April hits, and that mental day of, oh crap, it's out of rotation now for everyone mentally saying that, this card's probably going to be 20 to 25 in just 2 to 3 months, my opinion. Kind of an honorable mention in the same boat to a lesser extent, Erica's Invitation. I don't like this one as much. It's just the trainer. Yeah, she's in her element with her grass and potions. It is an SIR, so I'm just not as high for whatever reason of Giovanni. But if you can find a clean copy of this for $15, this is the SIR version. Still a great pickup in my opinion, if that's all you can find. To me, going back to the OG3 again, not Charizard, but Blastoise, Venusaur. Blastoise is starting to rise up a little bit, the full art version, but I'm still looking at the Venusaur full art version. Blastoise is ticking up near $20, $16, $18. You can still get Venusaur just as nice of a card, in my opinion, for $11 to $12. Why not pick this up? And most of these we're discussing today, they're 15 to 10 and under. There's not any room to go just about butt up. So why wouldn't you take a gamble? To me, these are extremely low risk. Why not? A couple other honorable mentions here would be, to me, Zapdos. It's a pretty clean card. It's under 10 bucks. Omanite. I know that's not many people's favorite from the original 151 block, but they did give it an illustration rare. And if you can find one under $10, I don't know how accurate that is because featured right here is for $20. So recent sales now $6, $7, $8 with tax. I'd be looking to pick up a few copies of this if you get it, if you can find it for under $10. To me, an illustration rare. I know one like Caterpie is not as popular, right? He's kind of a little weakling of a Pokemon. Omanite's pretty cool. I mean, he's a fossil type. It's not one that you see very often. Really never gets featured much. I like Omanite and Omastar. Maybe that's just me, but I think this one could be a solid pickup too if you can find it for around the $8 range. This one made the list, and it's not in the 151 set, I guess because the number of it. But hey, from when I saw it, I'm like, hey, this is worth mentioning. It's a really awesome artwork. You got to think, as much as they're printing prismatic, they're gonna have to of the new hyped Ascended Heroes, because it is the real deal. Ascended Heroes is going to take up the majority of their printers. So cards like sets like Stellar Crown, Journey Together are probably not going to see much more printing. And this is an awesome card. Look at the artwork. He's in action. The lightning bolt ish in the background, if you call it that. I don't know. It's just a really awesome artwork. I just thought I'd mention it since it's here on the page. Under $10. I know Zorora is not the most fan favorite. It's kind of somewhere in the middle would be. I think it's not extremely up there like Charizard, Blastoise, Pikachu, but it ain't at the bottom of the barrel like a Caterpie or someone that no one's heard of either. So I think that could be a cool one too. Last up, rounding out the list, we've kind of discussed about half of them, 6-ish or so, is the promos, SV era promos. Do not sleep on them. This one here is from SVP 088. I believe that was the little collector chest where it had a Pokemon Pikachu squishy in it. And you get this in every one of those collector chests. I think that's what the item was called, some ancillary box. And I remember picking up a bunch of those a couple years ago. Ended up just breaking them down and selling the packs. I kept a few of the promo cards because I believe they had 2 base, 2 obsidian, 2 Paldea evolved. But this was an exclusive to that box. And at $15, it's kind of seen a little bit of a spike, and then it's dipped. I remember for a while there, a few months ago, like this is showing, it was selling for about $20 on eBay and dropped all the way down. Like many things did see a drop in November, December of last year. You could pick it up for around $10. It's kind of leveled out. It's spiked right back up this year, selling, 90 sold that week at around $16. And it's kind of leveled off. To me, they're not going to make any more of those boxes. Those were put out about a year ago, those collector chests. You're not going to see more of it. And it's got a few Mousehold, I think this name's Frigatito, Palmy or Palmont, forget. But so it's got some featured ones in the background. It's a nice artwork, just kind of in the grass, in the mountains. And it's Pikachu. You can't go wrong with a cheap Pikachu card that's an illustration rare and it's a promo. To me, it's only got room to go up from here. I don't believe this is going to spike anywhere below $15 at this point. I think it's hit its bottom as it did a few months ago, and it's probably only going to keep going up, stagnate, like most cards do over time. So that's an awesome pickup. To kind of repeat that same sentiment, but honestly to me is a little bit nicer of a card, is Pikachu, and I believe this one came from the Paldea Evolve Elite Trainer box. So yes, you did get one in every one of those ETBs. Yeah, they kind of did make they printed a bunch of them, but as it goes out of rotation, and it is one of the sets that is in April, 2 months from now, this card, to me, I think it's a little bit unique because where do you get Pikachu as the mascot and that era's 3 starters all in the same card? I don't know if they've ever made one where that's been the case, and that is here with Fuecoco, Sprigatito, and Quaxley in the background. So awesome pickup. If you can get one, let's look at recent sales around $14. Get one under $15. Buy this card. It's about to go out of rotation. Paldea Evolve. This is from their ETB. Get it. What are you waiting for? This is your wake-up call. In 2 months, Paldea Evolve will be out of rotation, and this card is just going to spike. Yeah, I don't care if it's just because, oh, well, it's a promo. You get it in every ETB. Well, the ETBs are $130 right now. You might buy one for the card and pull not that much value out of the packs. So pick up this single now if you don't have one. You won't regret it. I'm not going to guarantee it because I'm not an investor. So don't come back and saying, oh, it dropped in price to me, commenting on the video. But look, if you've been in the hobby for any amount of time, singles and sealed product always tend to go up if you hold it long enough. And if you just hold these cards long enough, they absolutely will go up in value. All right, so that's all for that. The ETB for Prismatic Evolutions. They made a ton of them, yes. Costco drop, Sam's drop. You were finding them at all the retailers at first, about a year ago when it's first released. Really, you probably weren't finding them because the set is so fire that it just gets gobbled up every second it gets put on the shelf. So, but this is the normal ETB promo. Out of that, it's SVP 173. Under $10, Eevee is another fan favorite. It's got a nice, cute artwork. It's got a little Pikachu stuffed animal, I guess, a little Voltorb toy. It's just kind of that theme of a pet. You know, it's got a squishy toy. It's got a little ball to play with. It's got a little picture of itself. Awesome artwork in its element, just taking a nap. And if you can get this, market price is $9. Under $10. I would love it if it was $5 to $7, but still I think under 10 for an awesome promo that comes out of an awesome set like Prismatic. I don't think this is a bad pickup. And I just have this feeling like they've tried to print Prismatic. They keep trying to. I've waited in line at a couple Costco's and Sam's and was able to get my one or two boxes knowing what day they were going to drop. It just gets gobbled up. Every time they try to print, it just keeps getting gobbled up. It's one of those sets that's going to go down. To me, is one of the greatest of all time as far as specialty sets, the ability to pull a God pack where every evolution's in it. All the evolutions, yeah, I get it. There's no IRs. The pull rates are tough because it seems like you're not getting any of those mid-level hits like the IRs. But the SIRs are tremendous. I think right now that Umbreon card is about $1,000 raw. You're not going to go wrong, in my opinion, getting this promo. It is the ETB feature promo. A few more to look at. Enough with Prismatic. I believe this came from Paldean Fates, the ETB. Solid pickup. I don't like this one as much, but if you can get it for around $7, Mimikyu is a fairly popular Pokemon. Not the most. I'd prefer the Eevee, what we just talked about over this, but if this is a few bucks cheaper, and you can find it around the $7 range, maybe 6-ish, I think it could be a sleeper pickup, because keep in mind, Paldean Fates is also one of those that's about to go out of rotation in that block, that first block of Scarlet and Violet, in April. So keep that in mind. If you find some clean copies of this Mimikyu, I think it could be a good pickup also. A couple more promos here as we're rounding out the list. Let me know what you think. Did I miss any? Did I overhype one maybe I shouldn't have? Is there one that you'd like to see on the list? I know this back half is a little promo heavy, but just think about it, y'all. Surging Sparks, the next one. Shinji Kanda artwork, probably the most popular talked about artist as of right now. He's done a lot of awesome cards, the Giratina from Lost Origin, the Seismitoad from Black Bolt, countless others. This is one. You get it in every promo, every ETB. It's the ETB promo for Surging Sparks. It's an OG original, Magnemite Magneton. That's one of the original 150. $4.50. I'm buying all of these if they're under $5 at the card shows. If you can afford it. I'm not buying all of them. That's a lie. If I see clean copies of these under $5 And keep in mind, they came with the little sealed plastic. I'd prefer to have them in that. But even if you don't, and they broke the plastic and just pulled the card out, as long as it's near mint and it looks clean, I still think it's just as good of a buy at under $5. It's Shinji Kanda. It's one of the original, and I think Surging Sparks was printed decently. ETB's the same. This is what it came out of, the ETB, but I don't think it was overprinted. It doesn't seem like it to me. I didn't see them just all everywhere in the wild. I've got a couple in the binder. I'm just going to be looking for this at the next card show to try to pick up a couple more. You can't, there's nowhere to go but up on this, right? It's $5. Are you really going to get mad? It was at up to $10 several months ago. Drop down, drop down. It's at about the lowest point it's ever been. 361 technically last summer, but it's almost at the lowest point it's ever been. Pick this up now. If you're not seeing this chart and alarm bells are going off, something's wrong with you. Pick this card up now. It's at the lowest point. It's only got one way to go but up. No, Surging Sparks is not going out of rotation. It's going to be in print for a little while longer. So could they do a massive ETB print run, reprint of Surging? They could. That might make this card go down a little if that happens. I don't think it will because they've got to focus on the more popular sets. They've got to do something about Destined Rivals. They've got to do something about Ascended. It's brand new. They still probably are going to want to reprint more Mega and Phantasmal. So this ETB of this set might get put on the back burner. Might not see any more of them. And if you don't, this card's only going to spike. If you do see more reprints of this, what's really going to happen? You're buying it at $5 and it goes down to $3? So what? Keep it, hold it, and in the next year or two, in a couple years, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a $20 card. So from 5 to 20, you 4x your money in 2 to 3 years. 4x'd. Stock market on average, if you're getting 10% returns, is going to 2x every 7 years. The law of 7s and 10s, if y'all didn't know. So a good typical stock market, double, 2x every 7 years, going at 10% returns. And this card, potentially, if it gets to $20 in a few years, you're talking about 4x in 3 years, potentially. Like, you just blew the S&P right out of the water, and it's not even close. So, next. I like this card. I hope we see more of them on the market. It's from, it's from the ETB promo of Destined Rivals. We haven't seen much Destined Rivals. Anything. The little bit of reprints, restocks we're kind of seeing some of are really just sleeve booster packs from what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing booster boxes. I'm not seeing ETBs. We kind of got a little bit of a reprint of bundles, but this isn't in that. This is only in the ETBs. And I still think I would have loved to have seen Jesse and James on here, because wasn't it Jesse's Wobbuffet? I don't know why they did that with the newer Team Rocket characters. To me, they missed the mark big time, not having Jesse and James in this set. But it's too late now. The set's over. The set's out. They're not changing it. I still think it's an awesome card at around $6. This one's a little more speculative because it's still relatively new. Destined Rivals isn't even about 8 months old. Still well within the ability that this could go down and get reprinted. And this spike, even at $6, could go down. Maybe it goes down to $3 or $4 if you see some ETB reprints. I wouldn't hold my breath at this point. I don't know if they will. They haven't shown any indications, but that doesn't mean they won't. I would be a little more cautious with this card, though, knowing those facts, that little more higher chance that could be reprinted, the ETBs, because this is a newer set. So I would be a little cautious on this, but if you see a really clean copy at the card show or locally, and it's around the $6 range, I don't think it's a bad pickup. All right, moving on. Ones that I think are a lot safer. It's gonna be those featured SV era Pokemon, Miraidon, Koraidon, Scarlet, and Violet. These are nice artworks. Yes, they're IRs from the ETBs, so you get one in every ETB. Yeah, that seemed like they did print SV base quite a bit about 2 years ago when it was released. And of course, that was before the craze, so you could just find these on the shelf all day long. I remember picking up a couple Black Fridays ago, Black Friday deal for really cheap. So, and the ETBs, but this Miraidon here selling at around $5. Back to that whole cycle of being out of print. SV base is going out of rotation in April, 2 months from now. If you like this card, if you believe in it, I do. I'm going to be picking up a few more at the next card show if I see clean copies of them. It's kind of bottomed out. It's close to the lowest it's ever been. If you can pick one up, whether it's in its little plastic wrap or out of that, as long as it's near mint, I love this card at $5. If you can find some, buy it. There's nowhere room to go but up. You could see an instant spike in 2 months just from people thinking, "Oh crap, it's actually April now. I can't get this set anymore." You're probably going to see a spike just from that. And the same thing with its counterpart, Koraidon. Nice artwork. No, it's not textured. It's kind of plain in that regard, but it's a nice artwork for $5. An illustration rare artwork for $5. These are the characters that Pokemon has been pushing this era, this SV era. Miraidon, Koraidon. And they're going to go down probably 10 years from now as they were the OGs of this era. So the kids playing the game now, the 10 to 15-year-olds playing the game now, whatever age, they're going to grow up when they're adults like us, like me, and they're going to have a lot of nostalgia for these cards, I think. So, and the same goes for the SIR versions, which are from SV base also. I think those could be great pickups because they're under $20, $15 to $20 for the Miraidon SIR and the Koraidon SIR. Not mentioning them in this video, but take a look at those from SV base. If you can get those around $15, I think that's around market price, it would be an awesome pickup long term, in my opinion. I'm looking at probably trying to get a few of those too. Last on the list, they're so cheap, you can't go wrong with them. I've got to go way down the list just to find them. And honestly, I don't really know why. They're from the black and white set, Black Bolt and White Flare. It's the ETB promos. I get it. They're not the most popular, most loved. It's Thundurus and Tornadus. But $1.50 market price-ish? How? It's an illustration rare. This is cheaper than the cheapest illustration rare from any set. You know, you'll have some of those illustration rares in certain sets that are like $2, $3, $4. This is cheaper than any of those. I don't get it. Thundurus is kind of a popular Pokemon. It's not the most, but it's still cool. It's a really cool artwork. And Black Bolt, White Flare, we haven't seen a ton of those. They're popping up a little bit in vending machines if you get lucky and catch a restock on those. But man, Black Bolt, White Flare doesn't seem like it's been heavily printed. Maybe that's one that they're going to catch up on and try to print more of in the coming year because it is relatively new. But wow, I mean, $1, if you can get this for under $2, you can't buy a candy bar for that price. So, awesome pickup, in my opinion. Why not? Tornadus, the last one, is the same thing. Awesome artwork. It's an illustration rare card. One's from Black Bolt, one's from White Flare. I don't remember which one was which, but this is the other version of that. Really the same exact sentiment, the same exact story. It's selling for $1 to $1.50. I mean, it's almost not even worth people shipping it on eBay or TCG at such a low price. But I think these are just awesome pickups. This is a handful of them. There's always tons more out there. I think these could be sleeper pickups. That kind of rounds out the list, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what y'all think. If there's a video idea or something you think I missed you'd like me to discuss, I'd love to do it. I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know. As far as this episode, though, that's it. That's a wrap. See you next time. Peace.